stay-at-home dad, watching Disney movies he never had. His daughter digs through all the VHS, crushing the classics in a princess dress. Informed like Scuttle, Kurt's got your ticket, making it real like Jiminy Cricket. Most are off the Captain Hook, but if the Tweedledum, he'll be taking more shots than Bambi's mom. Leave him raised like Simba, or cracked like the beast dishes. He'll show you a whole new world, you won't need 3 wishes. Stay-at-home Disney dad.
In 2001, Disney bought the Winnie the Pooh franchise, and I get it. Remember that app, that game, Agarlo? You started as a dot trying to eat the other dots. The more dots you ate, the bigger you got. That's essentially Disney's strategy, and you can't fault them for that, as they roll over the landscape, gobbling up every cartoon property possible. But I apologize to everyone's childhood. I don't get Winnie the Pooh. As adults, everyone gushes how each Winnie the Pooh character symbolizes a different mental illness, and I appreciate that, and I support it, and I celebrate it, but the cartoon is still so painfully boring. Pitch that to a child. Want to watch a slow-moving cartoon where every character represents a mental illness? No! I don't want to hate this just for hating it, but I just don't know if I was in the right age. Maybe I wasn't the right gender. I'm not trying to be gender insensitive. In my circle of friends, females make up about 100% of the Winnie the Pooh fans. So I'm asking more than I'm saying, so don't hate on me. I don't know. I think we can agree that My Little Pony was targeted more at girls back in the 80s, so I'm just legitimately curious if this franchise was directed towards females back in the 80s, back in the day, because I can't tell. I'm trying to remember who was playing with the toys on the old Winnie the Pooh commercials, but I can't remember a single commercial for Winnie the Pooh toys. Did they ever make Winnie the Pooh toys? Okay, on the VHS tape there's an ad for Conjunction Junction. This is what I'm talking about. I was too young for Conjunction Junction, but it transcends. I've never seen it, but it makes me feel like I saw it, and I loved it. And if you can find a way to harness and sell that feeling, making adults nostalgic for things they aren't nostalgic for, artificial nostalgia, you would be a billionaire. Okay, feature presentation time. It's a masterpiece collection. Once upon the last day of a golden summer. See, already depressing. We're 1 second in and I'm sad. Who wants to think about the last day of summer? It's literally the most depressing day of the year, no matter what age you are. I don't want to continue. I'm already over, I'm already out, I'm over this. Okay. These are adventures about a boy and his bear in the 100-acre woods. Pooh jumps across rocks and he sounds like a tired old man. Christopher Robin shows up and they sing about everything staying the same forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And Christopher Robin sounds like they used a real legitimate child as a voice actor. And you would think that's going to add some credibility to the cartoon, and it usually does, but it's no surprise. In Poohland, it doesn't. Okay, they'll be together forever and ever and ever, and the narrator says, at the end of the day, Christopher Robin has almost forgotten to tell Pooh something. He's going to tell Pooh he's leaving. And now Christopher Robin represents that selfish boyfriend or girlfriend you had that knows they're going to break up with you, but waits until the day after Valentine's Day, after the supper and the flowers and the chocolates. Yeah, that's Christopher Robin. Okay, here it comes. Christopher is trying to tell Pooh some bad news, but Pooh is oblivious and can't take a hint. Christopher Robin tells him, you're braver than you believe, and stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. That's not what he sounds like, but even if we're apart, he claims, though we'll always be with you. But here's the thing, you won't. That's moving on talk. That's softening the blow talk. That's the thing you get blindsided with, and it smashes your heart with a hammer of lies and leaves you standing in front of Zellers not knowing what to do next because you haven't imagined a single second of your future without her. Okay, first day of autumn, and Pooh is excited for the cold weather because, of course, he is. He's that guy. He's so boring and inconsequential, and he's just such a social dial tone of uninteresting that the only way he could possibly stand out of the crowd just the slightest inch is by talking positively about the one thing everyone else in the world hates: cold weather. Pooh is like a pastel troll. He can't find Christopher Robin, so he runs to Piglet's house. Piglet is climbing a tree because Christopher Robin told him to. Here comes Tigger. I bet I know which mental illness Tigger represents. All of them! Rabbit is mad at his garden. Yeah, we have a cartoon character who's gardening. This is what I mean. The colors are droll, the characters are droll, the situations are droll, and here comes Eeyore. Not much of a house for not much of a donkey. Then his house falls down. Winnie the Pooh must be like the Charlie Brown's Christmas of regular cartoons. If you watch this as a kid, I can absolutely respect getting caught up in the nostalgia and warm childhood memories married to the Pooh franchise. But if you're an adult watching this new, I would say it's nearly impossible to get into this. Even the Heritage Minute about Winnie the Pooh was boring and forgettable compared to the rest, and I have most of them memorized. Perhaps our lone lady member is too fragile to know what normally happens in a prison. Whoop-boom! Is this normal? Pa ain't gonna make it. He'll make it. He's our Pa. Liza. I think he means those houses over there. No, he means this nation, and Canada is its name. No one's gonna read a comic about a strong man in tights, Joe. It'll never fly. Fly, no. But he can leap over tall buildings in a single bound. She's loaded, boys, full of explosives. You gotta get out of here. And it changed the face of hockey forever. Rips off leaf of medical picture of the male body, sassy walk, crumple. Burnt toast. Dr. Penfield, I can smell burnt toast. And then we get the Pooh one. No, Daddy. Winnie the Pooh is his name. For the last 15 minutes, the characters have been trying to read a note left by Christopher Robin. He has written that he's at school. Like, in a roundabout way, this is kind of the blueprint for Toy Story if you really overthink it, but that's like comparing Transformers to GoBots. Actually, that's more like comparing Transformers to taking your Hot Wheels cars, turning them upright, and pretending they're robots. Hey, they want to rescue Christopher Robin from school. Owl warns them about monsters and says, without monsters, it's hardly a quest. It's just a gaggle of friends going on a trip. I gotta agree with them, and that's a curious line. That sounds like they took that line from some actual negative feedback from like the original first run of the script and added verbatim what their bosses said. What the hell is this? This isn't a quest without monsters, it's hardly a quest. That's awesome. Owl sings a rah-rah Adventure USA song, and it's pretty good. Maybe I'm grading on a curve, but next to the rest of the characters, Owl looks like the greatest single cartoon character ever created. Again, I might just be grading on a curve. Pooh and Rabbit and Piglet and Eeyore cut through the woods on their quest to rescue Christopher Robin, and I hope Disney took some liberties after buying the franchise. And the new Disney ending is they come out of the woods and see Christopher Robin happily playing with an Ariel and Belle doll saying, I was right to beg my parents for all new Disney princess toys. They are superior in every way to old Winnie the Pooh ones. Butterflies try to steal Piglet. This is a side story. Sorry, I'm like so bored I'm actually scrolling Facebook. Here's a meme that made me giggle while they save Piglet from the butterflies. They sing a song about trusting a map. They keep pushing through the woods. Tigger looks at Pooh's biceps and says he doesn't deserve to dangle from the thing precipitous. They all land in the mud. I was promised monsters. There's no monsters. Seeing Pooh carry around his jar of honey reminds me of WWF's Paul Bear carrying around the urn. Next Halloween, I'm going to try to get a couple's costume together. It's going to be Winnie the Pooh and Christopher Robin dressed up as Paul Bear and the Undertaker. No one steal that. Pooh tries to remember Christopher Robin's advice and he bumbles it and says, you're smarter if you're pink, and he drops the gem. We can't find Christopher Robin without Christopher Robin. Eeyore says, things are bad and they aren't getting any better. Pause for laughter. And like, okay, if you're gonna break up with me, fine, but why would you keep my sweater? I know technically it was a gift from me to you, but like, I'm not good enough for you, but my sweater is. Like, I guess if only my heart was 50% polyester, we would be okay. Hey, why doesn't Winnie the Pooh wear pants? Where's your pants, Pooh? It's night and Pooh is singing a song about how he misses Christopher Robin. How long is Christopher Robin's school day? Christopher Robin's parents maybe sent him to an institution because he thinks his stuffed animals are alive and lives in a fantasy world instead of making real human friends. Who's to say? Maybe that's what's going on. I'll give him credit. The animation of this next song is pretty good. It's Pooh in a creepy tree in the forest at night. The song ends, he falls asleep, and Rabbit puts a blanket on him. Piglet wakes up and is horrified. The Spaz wakes up. Everyone else? And he's stuttering, but he found the mouth of a creepy looking rock formation that looks like a skull, and the mouth is an opening. Like, okay, Christopher Robin should officially feel really bad about this now. His friends could be marching to their deaths instead of just being straight with him, being like, I'll see you at 3:30. It's like I'm suddenly watching a completely different movie. This now looks like the old Masters of the Universe cartoon animation. It's dark and creepy and I love it. Spellcheck tried to change Eeyore to Eyesore and that's accurate. They're on a flimsy bridge and it breaks and Pooh falls but doesn't die. Maybe that's why Pooh's so sad all the time. He's like 2,000 years old and just wants to pass over into the afterlife, but he can't because he's indestructible. Possibly because of a curse. They find a giant gem, but Pooh's face is reflected on it and it's gigantic in the reflection, so everyone runs scared. Pooh gets stuck on the wall and 15 minutes later they free him. This is what I'm talking about. Pooh is now gone again. Nothing happens, nothing happens, nothing happens. Suddenly there's a scary shadow. Everyone is terrified and it's Christopher Robin. All the characters are happy to see him, but then they go in this weird direction and tell Christopher Robin that they became better people after he left. They were brave and strong and smart. Christopher says he was just at school. Okay, it was a big misunderstanding. There's a noise and everyone is scared, but it's just Pooh's tummy. Okay, I'll admit Pooh has a certain charm to him. Like, he's so oblivious. He's like that little Shih Tzu that can't figure out the mechanics of the flipping dog door flap, and you're like, you got this, little buddy, but you know, they ain't got it. Maybe the appeal of the Pooh character is that you can hold any of the characters up against yourself in your current situation and know whatever you're going through, it probably isn't as bad as this gang of bumblers who are just stuck in this sort of vortex of bad decisions, looming failure, and constant disappointment. Pooh and Christopher Robin are reunited, everyone goes home and it ends the way it started, Christopher Robin and Pooh walking around at sunset. Christopher Robin explains how it was scary at first, but then thought of each character and he was smart like Piglet and brave like Tigger, etc, etc, etc. You know, I'm on board with this message. It's been a long time to get here, but the message of be brave for your first day of school is warm and feels good and strong. Robin breaks the bad news that he's going back to school the next day, but Christopher Robin promises that they will remain together forever. And speaking of forever, there's 2 more Winnie the Pooh movies in our giant bin of VHS tapes.
That's what I think about.
What do you think?
What we have is a concern about Curtis Anderson. His interviewing style is not the best. His personal appearance is not the best. I was wondering if the man has some kind of a hold